Hey guys, it's Cy with Designs by Cyrus, and I am a floral teacher in Hughes Springs, Texas. And today I'm going to talk to my floral design teachers that do things at their school district, for their school, and events they have. So today, it's a Tuesday. Our prom is on Saturday. And this week we also have CDE, which are Career Development Event Contest, happening in Stephenville. So I'll be gone for at least a day and a half of that, and then come back Thursday night and have to get ready all Friday for prom. So tomorrow before I leave, excuse me and my Floral 2 kids are going to try to knock out some of our prom flower arrangements for the centerpieces of our prom. So every year we have a different prom theme, like most schools do. And this year is Diamonds Are Forever. So the kids wanted to be really elegant and wanted to have reds and whites in it, which so happens to be our school color as well. So they had a smaller budget that we were working with this year of about $300, and we had that to spend on flowers. And we chose to purchase flowers to make centerpieces. Now, the centerpieces we made are smaller, and we're going to do clustering of them. And there will also be candles and tea lights and other little things around it to make it look really theme appropriate. But real quick, these are the two centerpieces I'm going to make today while we're on here. This is a little cube vase, and we use this for certification if you teach Floral 2. And so it's really easy to find. I got it from my wholesale florist. I think a case of 12 of them was $36. So around $3 a vase. And I just did a really pretty English mass arrangement. And in here we have 3 roses, 4 carnations, seeded eucalyptus, leather leaf, and baby's breath. And we started with a gridded vase. So it's just a really pretty conversational height arrangement. We did grid it with clear tape, which I always do on clear vases, and sometimes do it on all vases just so you don't see your mechanics. So that's the one we're going to make first. And I'm going to sit it back here behind me. And then, this is one we're going to cluster with it as well, which has a beautiful white hydrangea in it. These are just lovely, big, beautiful white hydrangeas. It has a carnation, a red carnation, a red rose, and some red-ish burgundy mums. So that's kind of what we've got. And then we filled it in with baby's breath. So that's just what we have money to do. And we have some leather leaf in here, some seeded youth, and a little bit of Italian ruskets, which you can also do with Israeli ruskets if you're looking for a little bit cheaper. But I had a little bit of this left over for another project we're doing this week as well, that I will update y'all on as we get closer to prom and the day of prom for an event we're doing as well. So this will be clustered with it too. This is a very beautiful vase. This is a clear cylinder vase that I purchased from Dollar Tree offline. They come in a case of 12, and they're $1.25 a piece. So this whole arrangement came out very affordably, and we'll talk about how much it costs after we get done. So I'm going to make the cylinder vase and the cube vase today while we're on here. So real quick, I had one of my students in my 8th period class, which is a Floral 1 student, grid all these vases for me. And she's on my floral team, so she knows how to grid vases. She did a fantastic job. We used, I think this is 1/2 inch clear tape that we used to grid these. One reason is we wanted to hold it a little bit more secure. We wanted to use less flowers and less greenery to conserve money. You're more than welcome to use a 1/4 inch floral tape, which we use a lot of, but we chose to use this little bit wider tape to take up more space, hold our plants a little bit more secure. So I'm going to start with 2 pieces of leather. This is one left over from the last one, so I may put it in there as well. I'm going to pop off my bigger ones off the bottom. You should get at least 2, maybe 4. It depends on how healthy your leather leaf is. And then go ahead and give your leather leaf a good cut at an angle to open up those capillaries, just like that. And I'm going to start with one right in the middle, oh, not in the middle, in the side, coming out the side, just like that. Then I'm going to use these little bit bigger pieces, strip the leaves off the bottom, stick them in. Strip the leaves off the bottom, stick them in. And we will continue doing this over and over until the whole vase is green like a little bush that you would see out in your yard, or a little pot plant with leather leaf. Okay, so I will continue greening with leather leaf all the way around because I want these to be 360 arrangements. I'm going to pull one more in just to kind of make it feel. It's more of an art than a science. I tell kids that all the time with floral design, that it's not a science. So sometimes we have more. One arrangement will take a few more leather leaves, another arrangement will take a few less. It just depends on what you have to do to get the flowers and the greenery to perform the way you want it to. Okay, so we've got our greens in there. All these little pieces of leather leaf that I peeled off, I'm saving because we will be making corsages and boutonnieres on Friday for some of our students. So after I get this whole thing green like this, okay, I'm going to cut this one off. It's a little bit too much. Like this. I'm going to get my gloss, my green gloss spray, and I'm going to spray this whole greens to kind of take some of my dullness out of my greenery. My next greenery I'm going to bring in is a seeded yew. You're just going to need a few little pieces of this. So go ahead and pop those off. Okay. And they're going to go directly down into your arrangement. Just like that. And like these couple extra ones, I'm going to put those in the bucket because I will use those for corsages. So the cool thing about doing events for your school district is you get people to buy flowers for your kids to learn with, and for you to learn with if you're kind of a novice florist or floral teacher, to learn with on their dime. And it's really a good deal for them too because they're not paying labor or anything like that on these particular arrangements. So once you get it greened like that really well, you're good to go. So now we're going to pull in 3 red roses and 4 red carnations as our mass and form flowers in this arrangement. Now I will let you know these flowers came in today. So what you're seeing is what they are when they came to me. So what you're seeing is what you get. Now mine they're a little bit bruised. Some of them got rubbed a little bit, but we're going to use them anyways because we're working on a budget, okay? So my first rose, I'm going to sit right down in the center like that. Okay, so we're just doing a very basic English mass arrangement. Sometimes we get a little too complicated for our customer. Some customers really want funky, cool stuff. Some customers just want traditional stuff. So if you have, when you talk to your organization you're working with at your school district, have them let you know what they kind of are envisioning for you to do. So this was a really more of a traditional look. Last year was way more exciting and funky looking. So I did my roses in a line. So 1, 2, 3. And then I have 4 carnations. I know a lot of people say never work in even numbers. Don't work in even numbers. Teach your kids not to work in even numbers. I don't think that's really necessary. I think it's necessary to teach your kids to work with what they got. So if we have enough carnations that add up to this certain number for this event, then we're going to use that number, whatever it divides to. We're going to make it use. So I originally started with just 3 carnations, but it wasn't as full as it needed to be. So I went ahead and added a 4th one, and it looked really much better. Looked a lot better. Really much better. Wow. Guys, it has been a long week here at school. I'm telling you, I am so ready for April to get here because April means we're kind of slowing down a little bit in the ag teaching world. And I'll be able to do a little bit more and have a little bit more time to plan things and do things. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of baby's breath to this arrangement. I'm really not a big fan of baby's breath. You've probably heard me say that I don't like using it very much, but lots of people love it. And it's also, I wouldn't say it's the most affordable filler. It's actually kind of costly if you're 100% honest. But it takes up a lot of space, a lot more space than, you know, non-baby's breath. Other fillers do, I'm sorry. Other fillers do. So I'm a wax filler fan through and through, but baby's breath really helps fill it in. So this is kind of what we went with. Just a real simple, round cube arrangement, really quick and simple to make. Everyone loves it. You see these on Valentine's Day, you see them in all different occasions, all different colors. We do them all the time in the florist industry, and that's what we're getting with these. I'm going to sit it to the side real quick, and then I'm going to make our other one, and then we'll talk about cost on it. So my next one is my clear cylinder base. Now, when I do, there's a piece of greenery there. When I do flower arrangements for events in our school district, they pay for the flowers out of their activity account or their accounts. At no point do we pay for the flowers and they reimburse us. That's normally not the case. Most of the time, they pay for them out of theirs. Now, for example, and they pay for the bases and everything. These bases we had on hand, left over from Flower of the Month. So we're just using these, and they'll return them when it's over with. And we'll end up with most of these cute bases anyways, because most people don't need bases. So I have a beautiful white hydrangea that I'm quick dipping really quickly in Quick Dip, which is a hydrating solution. And it really gets your hydrangeas popped. I did soak these in room temperature water for about 5 minutes today when they came in about noon. And it's about 4 o'clock right now. So that's kind of where we're at. Okay, so this space is also gridded. You wouldn't have to grid this space, but I gridded this space so we don't have to use as much to make a form in the middle or a frog in the middle or however we're trying to form up this vase. We don't have to do as much because we have the clear thing. So I'm going to stick this hydrangea right down in the middle or the side one, just depending kind of on what we can get done. And then I'm going to bring in 2-ish leather leaves for this as well. And I will tell you before I put these leather leaves on here, because I already have my hydrangea in here, I'll go ahead and green gloss them real quick. Okay. And I'll get them real nice and glossed up, really pretty. And we'll go from there. Now, I will tell you that I don't like being able to see greenery in the water. So like this piece right here is really bothering me because I can see greenery down in the water. Okay. So I'm going to take it apart and then refish my greens in there. Okay. So I'm going to continue sticking greenery in there all the way around the vase, even in front of the hydrangea, just to give it a little bit of, you know, something to sit on, so it doesn't look like the hydrangea is just a snowball piled on top of this like a snow cone. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit of Italian ruscus, which it comes in a very long piece like this. I love Italian ruscus. I will tell you that Italian ruscus is a little bit more costly greenery to use. Lots of people don't use Italian ruscus for that reason. I like it because it makes it look a little bit more expensive. So for a bundle of Italian ruscus, I think it's 5 stems that length, is like $14. So that's a pretty big cost that you have to realize that that's going to occur. These are all speckled, so I'm just pulling them off the bottom. And sometimes it has these little orange berries on it too. I always pull those off, no matter what occasion I'm doing. No, I mean maybe fall I would leave them, but nothing for no other reason would I leave them. So I always like to fill in with Italian ruscus. I think it's very beautiful greenery. It really elevates your design a lot. Then I'm going to come in with just a little bitty bit of seeded eucalyptus. And some of my seeded eucalyptus I'm using is left over from last week's design. We do flowers about once a week in our floral design classes, so sometimes they get a little bit worn out like this one. So you just kind of have to, like, you know, play with it and make work what's going to work. If you get a seeded eucalyptus that has no greenery on this, don't throw it away until you clip all these little berries off. These are absolutely gorgeous in corsages, so I'll save all those little berries for my corsage work and boutonniere work this week. Okay. So, just like florists do, we use every piece of everything that goes through our hands. Sometimes we get hung up on, we can't use that. My kids are real bad about saying it's not good enough, it's not pretty enough. I'm like, well, we're gonna make it work because it's what we have to use. So, you'd be surprised if you just take a few seconds and make it a little bit more complete, how more useful you can make these things work. Okay, so we have that in there. I'm gonna pull one kind of red burgundy, one red carnation, and one red rose. And I'm gonna use this little guy right here that's kind of bent over just a smidge. And I'm gonna show y'all how we wire roses real quick. Okay? So, and normally when we have processed flowers, they'd come in, we take all the greenery off the stem. We would pull all the whatever they call thorns off right then. But when the flowers come in, I didn't have any students in class. It was my conference period. And so we didn't have that option. So we just did it like this. And I immediately started going to work designing arrangements for this. Now, how I wire a rose is wherever it's tipped over, I stick a wire up into the calyx right there. I pull it back straight and I wrap my wire around it at least 2 to 3 times. About like that, okay? And then you can force the rose to stand up on its own. I will cut the wire. Those were not wire snips, if you were wondering that I just cut that with, so don't be like me. I will cut the wire, and then I will make sure that it goes where you can't see it as much. I hate seeing wire on roses when you look in an arrangement or whatever you've wired. I'm going to stick that rose right there. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take all the greenery off the bottom half of this mums, and I'm going to stick it right down in here. And one reason I'm using these mums is they take up a lot of space, they're really beautiful flowers, and they just really have a good look about them. And then I'm going to come in with my carnation. That's a real deep, beautiful red, and I'm going to pop it in over here beside my rose. Now, in my other design, it was on the other side of the rose. It doesn't really matter. Put it wherever you think it looks good. Just make it work. Now I'm going to grab a little bit. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm going to grab me a little bit of baby's breath to finish filling this in. So, something's got me choked up. And I'm going to come in with my baby's breath, and I'm going to fill in my gaps all the way around my arrangement, even in the back, with baby's breath. All the way around, because this is a 360 arrangement. I know that it feels heavier on the front because of the carnation, but that doesn't mean that's the front. That just means that that's the more designer looking side of the arrangement. Okay? So I'm going to come in with baby's breath. Once again, I am not a baby's breath fan, but when you need stuff to go a long ways on a little bit of money, you've got to pull in a little bit of baby's breath. and sometimes it does take over the show. But most people that order designs with baby's breath in them are not going to be upset if they see a lot of baby's breath. So there you go. That's your second design. So these arrangements will go in the center of our tables at prom. And so as of right now, I have 2 of each variety done. We have 6 more of each variety to do. Our prom is relatively small because we're not a very big school. We are a 3A school district. That's larger, so we have about 80 kids per grade level, give or take, and that's kind of where we're at. So when we look at these and add these up real quick, because some of y'all could use this for Valentine's Flower of the Month, these would be wonderful, or any flower of the month. You just replace these flowers with different colors and you have a whole other look. So when we look at this cylinder base was $1.25, so that we're gonna say $1 or $2, we'll just round it up to $2. Then this was $2 hydrangea, so that's $4. $1.50 on the rose, so that's $6. We'll say $1, both the mum and the carnation together equal $1, so that's $7. About $1 worth of leather leaf, that's $8. $1 worth of seeded leather, $9. I would say that you're at about $2 on the Italian rusket, so I would say $11, and about 50 cents or so on the baby's breast. You're at about $12 out the door on this beautiful arrangement that anyone would be happy to get for any occasion. So, even though it just piddled all over me. So that's one good thing about these. They're a lot. They're very elegant. And you can do this exact same arrangement in a much taller cylinder and make it more dramatic for a larger, more dramatic venue. Okay, so let's come to this little cube vase next. The cube vase, these may be a little bit more expensive, I don't know yet. The cube vase was $3, so $3, $4, $5, $6 with roses, $1 worth of leather leaves, $7, $1 worth of seeded, $8, about 50 cents worth of baby's breath, that's $8.50, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, we're at $12.50 on this arrangement, about $13. So they really come about the same. What drives this one up a little bit is this cube base that they're in. But this cube base is gorgeous. It has the thicker ribs on the edge. It looks a little bit more elegant. So if you're willing to do something like this for an event or a prom, a luncheon, whatever you're doing with your school district, these are very affordable options and you can get a lot done. So we're doing 8 of each of these. So let's just say they're $12 a piece. So 8 times 12 is 80, 96 on these and 96 on these. So that's about $200, and they spent about $350 on flowers. So we'll have a few extra flowers if our math works out right to make a few extra pieces or carry over those flowers into our next week's grab cooler, which I will show you how we run a grab cooler next week when we're back in school and all this CE craziness is over with and we're back here in school and my Floral 2 department, Floral 2 classes do grab coolers. And if you have any questions about those, wait till the next video I shoot and you will see all about it. But thank you all so much for watching and following this video. Please like and subscribe to this video, even share it with your friends, Facebook, Instagram, however you share your videos. Also check me out on TikTok at CyRagsdale, CY, and then Ragsdale, no underscore, just all one together, all the words together. And then check me out on Facebook at Designs by Cyrus, and check me out on Instagram at Designs by Cyrus. And thank you all so much. And if you have any questions, floral design teachers, please let me know about what we do for events and what we do for Flower of the Month and what we do for all these other events we do and other programs we do through our floral classes. Thank you so much for watching my videos and have a blessed day, and we'll see you when we see you. Thanks, guys.